Everybody, and welcome to the Touring Car Sim Racing League. We're coming live today, not actual live, but as the live from Monza. It is the full circuit that we're racing at tonight. I will be with you until about 9:30, quarter to 10 this evening. We do have some technical difficulties. I am trying to work through them as we see it, which is to do with the driver interviews are a bit of an issue at the moment. For some reason, it's not pulling the voice channels correctly. So hopefully we can bring those to you as I try to figure this out while we do it live. But it started a bit early. So let's get over to the business at hand. Here is the Drivers' Championship. George is currently leading with 100 kilograms on board. That is going to really, really hurt him this time out. Markham Aaron is in second in 92. Butcher is third. He was leading going into last week's race at Brands Hatch, but Ballast plays a big key there, so he's down to third now. It's not that far off. From first to third is only 3 points, so there's not a lot in it, but he's carrying 80 kilograms. T-Joke is down to 60 kilograms. He's in fourth. He'll be happy because he will have managed to shave off a good 32 kilos. Aaron is down at, Anton is there in fifth position, 45 kilos on board, and Ashbourne is in sixth with 30 kilograms on board. Then we've got Flack in seventh, Large is in eighth, Neil is in ninth, Alexander is in 10th, Papadim is in 11th, Doug Dale is in 12th, joint 12th with Deeks actually, who returned from hiatus. Then you've got Clough, who's back this week, down in 14th. Bullen's returning. He started racing last week. He has now changed to team up with Aaron. He is in, where is he? Bullen's in 15th. Beckett is now is basically not racing in the championship anymore, nor is Chris or, well, beloved. So that's how it stacks up in terms of the team's Championship. Crazy Drivers are winning. Quillores is second. That is Mike Bullen has now joined that team. So I'm hoping that they are, well, I'm saying they're probably going to get a bit more points. No Frills Racing is in third. Then you've got Nero Motorsport, followed by Boucher Racing. Boucher Racing, probably. WFR Racing. Then you've got Team Hard. They've got Lone Wolf Racing. Now, Lone Wolf Racing and Boucher Racing have formed a new team because they've joined forces both announced. Zeus Racing, Run DAGC Racing, CW Designs and TWP. And then down to the Dugdale Trophy. This is for anybody that hasn't had a race victory is still included in this, but we also include positions gained or lost to give it that little bit of extra. So even if you're at the back of the grid and you gain 10 places, you can gain points. Points equal prizes, don't forget. So Flack is leading, just from Ashford. Neil is in third, Deeks is in fourth, Clough is in fifth, joint with Papa Dim. Bullen is in seventh, joint with Alexander. And then you've got Beckett, Dugdale, Pisk and Well Beloved down at the bottom. Now, for those of you eagle-eyed viewers at home, am I missing anything? No, I'm not missing anything. You'll notice that there's 12 drivers. There's actually, well, there is 14 drivers flittering in and out as it stands. Clough is currently leading by 0.2 of a second, but again, he's got no ballast on board. Papa Dim is second, but he's kind of in the middle there as it currently stands. This is what's going to be a bit tricky at this circuit, unfortunately. Ballast is going to play a huge factor in where the drivers end up in terms of their qualifying rank, because the problem with ballast here is it just causes you so much trouble. 100 kilograms on board, don't forget, of the championship leader, and he is currently down in 11th position, but yeah, unfortunately it's just the way ballast is at the moment. Butcher's there in 10th, he is currently third on the ballast, he's currently in the pits. Ashbourne is in 9th, Bullen is in 8th. Then you've got a gaggle of cars, and then at the front you've got Clough. So at the moment, there's Ashbourne, Team Hardley driving the Hyundai Elantra. Him and Deeks are both in the Hyundai Elantra. Then we've got a plethora of other cars. Qualifying time tonight is going to be around a 1:58.7 is what I'm expecting. Fastest time so far is a 1:58.9. Is he fastest in every sector? No, he isn't. Clough at the moment is not the fastest in any sector. You can see Stevie Gone Hog has returned. There he is, Privateer in the number 12 car. He is the only driver currently driving the Golf. It's a Golf, it's got 4 wheels on it. I counted that much. So it's going to be tricky in terms of where the drivers are going to finish up and where they're going to place. Qualifying is going to play a key. But it's not going to play as much key as you might think. Let's go to the helicam view. So it is going to play a problem. I thought the helicam would be better, but it isn't. There we go. So that's Cloughy, No Frills Racing. So it's going to be very, very tricky where they all turn up. These two are together. They're just racing. So he's really right at the rear end. They're kind of racing each other for no apparent reason at this point, to be perfectly honest. There's Nick, he's currently fastest, 34.627. So for those of you that are new to this type of racing, when it says purple on the board, at the bottom of your screen there, sector 1 purples, it means he's faster than any other driver currently out on the track. If it goes green, it means he has done a personal best. He is not the fastest on the track, but it means that he has gone faster than his previous best time in that sector. And then if it's black, it means he hasn't improved at all. So we're ideally looking for a purple, purple, and purple. Now, Nick doesn't have a lot of ballast on board, so he should really be able to get within Clough. But the problem that Renault has is it's just not as quick as the Link. The Link that is currently fastest, which is Clough, and Neil, which is in third, it just has a better top-end gear. That's the car you want to be in. It punches a bigger hold in the air. Slipstreaming is going to be a problem here and will be important. So I'm expecting really to have 3 sets of cars driving around. You're going to have the top 4, top 5 together, then a gaggle of about, let's say, race 6, and then some at the rears. We're going to go into auto direct mode for the next 10 minutes of the qualifying session. Like I said, 1:58 is what we're actually looking for. That's the time that is really going to set everything apart. The question is it going to set it apart enough? Currently there with Cloughy, so we're just keeping an eye on him. Just going to get into that view here, and we'll keep that one on that view. Does it on both? Okay. So we're going to stick with Cloughy and see what we can do here. Right on board with him. Let's go back into the view. This is through the first corner. So this is the right-hander. This is treacherous turn 1 into 2. You can ride the curbs here to try and get a lot more power as you come out of the corner. Then you go through these long two right-handers, which way you're building up the speed, you're not really letting off the accelerator. Ballast will play an important part here. This is where the car won't accelerate as quickly and won't be able to slow down. We do run 2 tyres. Then we go into the second set of chicanes here, left, right-hand side. It's not as vicious as on other games, which will launch the car. Then we go through into the right-hander and right-hander, which is the S's, I believe. And he's getting the track map up here. Through the right-hander, then through another right-hander, which then takes us down to Ascari and through under the bridge. He's got to keep it nice and tidy. 34.627 is his current time in that sector. He's purple. He's faster than anybody else, but he will be because he's the first one on the track in terms of going round. This is then coming up to Ascari, which looks an easy corner, but this can make or break the lap. Purple in sector 2, 113.439. Then we go through this. Is he taking enough curb? Too much curb here, and it invalidates the lap. He didn't take as much as he could have done. Let the car run wide, and then it's just the long drive down to the Parabolica. And this is going to be a key overtaking opportunity in the race. He will let off the accelerator and go down the gearbox, 1 gear, there into 4th. He'll keep it nice and tidy. He doesn't want to let the car go too early, lets it rotate, builds back up that speed. He should cross the line. We're looking for a 1:58 is what is predicted. He's going to take the shortest possible route he can, which is a straight line. 1:58 is what we're looking for. He crosses in a 1:58.387. So we might even see the 1:57s again, but a 1:58. He literally had enough fuel on board, and that was that. Where is Mike? Mike is entering into Sector 1 now. The Honda isn't going to be the strongest car here. It's a bit of an animal. It wrestles itself, but again, as long as he can put himself somewhere in the middle of the field, the slipstream here is extremely powerful, which means that these drivers will have the optimal opportunity to make the time up in the race. It's really annoying where that board is, but there we go. This is into the second set of chicanes, 34.614. He's purple, faster than he's outbraked himself. He's outbraked himself. Has that cost him time? Anton, don't forget he drives the DHL, is in second. George is in third, but George is carrying 100 kilograms on board. This is just an event. He just wants to get through, score some points, and move on with his life. Stevie Godhog is in fifth. Deeks has gone into second, 1.2 seconds away from the fastest drivers as it currently stands. What can Mike do? He's purple sector 1. We're looking for that magic middle number. Can he do anything as he approaches Ascari? And that's going to be key as we ride on board with him now. You have to pick the braking point. Then it's down, not too, don't downshift too many times. It unsettles the car. He's gone green, so he's up 1.1 seconds above fastest lap time. But he is green. So he's fastest in sector 1, and he is not as fast. He's actually lost he's lost just over a second in that sector 2. That's quite a lot of time to lose. But like I said, that car, the Honda isn't the car to have here. You just want something with a huge top-end speed. And that's why you want the Lincoln car. At the moment, the only driver who's in the 1:58 is Michael Clough. Neil has got closer, a 1:59.2. We're following Bullen. He should be in a 1:59. He's in 2 minutes. He's lost another 0.7 of a second on that lap. Cloughy's starting a new lap. Where's Neil? Neil's going for another bite of the cherry. You must have, looking at the board, I would suspect he's not put fuel in. I suspect he's going for a 2-lap run. 14 drivers on. Currently, only driver not to set a time is Podiflack. Everyone else is kind of in the middle somewhere. So at the moment, we have the front two are just kind of on their own. Then we have a gaggle of cars from 3rd, I'd say all the way to 8th. And then you have another group from 9th to 13th. Clough has just gone faster, 158.355. Neil abandoned that lap. Nick Papadim. What's Nick doing? He's doing 1 second. He's 2/10. So yeah, he's 2/10 of green. So if you can keep this pace up, he should pop the car somewhere in 2nd. He should be a 158.6. Is where I think he's going to be, somewhere around there. Yeah, 158.7. I was 1/10 of a second off. So he's gone a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of at the moment in that stage. So we have 1st, 2nd. But again, it's the ballast that is paying here because Clough has returned and he doesn't have the ballast on Cabord at the minute. So as it currently stands, he's quickest because he's not running around with any ballast. Flack has finally posted a time. Markham, Hogg and Flack are all in the 3 seconds. It's a bit unusual. Kane Alexander is now, he's now turned up as he set the board. So we've got 15 drivers currently on track. Ashbourne, he's not really setting the timing lights here. 34.346. He's losing a lot of time. It's that 2nd sector. This is where all the drivers are starting to lose their time, is in that 2nd sector. As we ride on board with Ashbourne now, the question is, can he deliver anything with 2:25? He'll get one more go at this basically, and then it's going to be game over. It's a 1:58 lap at best. Through the left, right, he's overcooked it there. I don't think he's going to be able to improve, really. He's abandoned the lap. That is the wise choice. Now it's a 2:07. He won't get another go at this. And it's going to be close. No, he won't. He'll be on his lap as he crosses the line. Kane Alexander, he's just abandoned the lap. Hogg's right at the back with Markham and Poddy. Bullen is now down in 11th position, but he's struggling. Again, it's not the car for this. He's 3/10 off. He's not slow in that 1st sector. It's the middle sector where he's in the 1:15s. That's the key. This is where he's losing all his time. That middle sector, 1:14.629. He's a 1:15.2. So yeah, he's a little bit faster, but he needs to be a lot faster if he wants to go anywhere. But again, race 3, when the instant points are very low, that's really going to put the wolf among the pigeons. So as it currently stands, I don't think we're really going to see anything. I don't think anybody is going to go any quicker. Podiflack's 1.6 off pace, he's 3.2, so he's going to put himself around middle of the table, 5th, maybe 6th. He's quite lucky he's got ballast on board that car, but you can see the comparative place between Clough and Poddy. Clough is running the same car with the same power from the same year, and the difference about 1.1 seconds. He crosses the line, he's 2.52, so he improves slightly, but not enough to really cause any damage to the top 3. That was always going to be the way. I think it's a very long track in terms of what we see. Ballast is going to be a big problem here, but yeah, that's the way it is, unfortunately. So Clough currently takes the lead, but don't forget he has no ballast on board this week, so he needs to maximise his chances. Papadim is 2nd, Neil is 3rd, TJ is 4th, Dix is 5th. Ashbourne is 6th. Good quality result there from Dugdale. In 7th position, Anton's in 8th. George is in 9th. Again, maximum ballast. He always knew he wasn't going to be anywhere near this week. Bullen is in 10th. Butcher is in 11th. Quite surprising for Butcher in 11th, to be honest. He was pumping in 158, so quite surprised he's down there. Poddy Flack, another surprise, down in 12th position, but he could be playing the long game here. Markham's in 13, and Stevie Gone Hog, who's returned this week, is in 14th. Kane Alexander, who's out on track currently, will be at the back of the grid. Right, we have a minute to go, and then we will go racing for race 1 of this evening. It's exactly 20 past the hour. Race 1 is 15 minutes long. Then we have a second race, which is 15 minutes long, and the third race, which is a reverse grid from race 1. And guess what? That is 15 minutes long. So I'll be here with you all the way till the end. The drivers are now going to get themselves lobbied up, and we will see the green bar go green. It will be 15 lights at the top. And then we will go racing. 15 minutes. Who's going to be winner? My 50p is on Michael Clough. He has got all of the advantages and all of the tools this week for him to be able to deliver that championship position. As it currently stands, there we go. Lights are flashing. It will be 15 lights as they launch themselves into the first corner. The question is, who is going to go into the first corner first? Who is going to be? It's lights out, and it's away we go. And you can see there, Nick Paquidou in the right side of your screen in that Renault has had a poor start. Stu Neal on the left, he has had a fantastic start as we hurtle down to the first corner. The question is, who is going to be in the lead? Who is going to take it as we go through into the chicane, 2 by 2, 1 by 1? They need to file each other out, and they've all managed to get through without incident. Luke there is the big winner into 6th position. He goes. Fantastic result from him. George has lost the place. He's down to 8th, but that will be the ballast on board the car that will be crucially suffering. There he is. There is George now. Craig Deek, he's in the Hyundai. You can't see it, but he is in the Hyundai. 1, 2, 3, 4. That white number 82. Can he do anything from this position? Into the left rights of the second chicane, rolling it back up as we go into the Lesmos. The question is, as we ride from the rear view camera, you can see there the rest of the field is struggling. As we now look, Deeks is holding onto that position. There's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. The whole field is streaming through. Stevie Gone Hogs at the back. Poddy Flack is trying to facilitate an overtaking move on the back of Aaron. There is Poddy Flack. He's in the middle of the field somewhere. He's on the left side. Where is he? There he is. Then number 9 on the right is Aaron Markham. He's had a slow down penalty going into the into Ascari, and that's crucially going to cost him as we ride from the rear view camera now of Mike Bullen. You can see Poddy's got the job done. Poddy's run wide. Poddy's run wide. That's going to compromise his exit speed. He'll definitely get a slow down penalty for that. The question is now, as Nick is attacking the back of Michael Clough, we'll leave that battle as we join the battle for the lead. This is first place. Behind that is Nick Papadim. There he is, the number 34. He is really trying to push it through that second. He's going to get a lovely toe now as we leave this and rejoin the battle for 8th. This is 8th. This is George. Behind that in 7th position. In 9th, that is Anton, followed by Butcher, followed by Bullen. As we ride from Butcher's car, he's going to be building up that speed. Luke Dugdale in 7th position is doing a stellar job of blocking the entire road for his teammates. 1, 2, 3, 4, wait for it. The number 52 left side, that is Luke. The other side is George in the 96. 100 kilograms on board, gets the car stopped. 1, 2, 3, slows down. They all trying to muscle their way through. Butcher in the 23. He is now in the middle of a Seat Honda sandwich as he goes through the right side, as he builds up that speed, holding onto it. Can he do anything? No, he can't. Bullen's done a sensational overtaking move. T-Joke, so this is the battle for 4th. T-Joke is on the right in the 55. Deek, that was never going to work through there. Deek gave him enough room, but not enough to get the job done. In the background, Aaron, Simon Ashbourne is trying to go around the outside of T-Joke. Whoa, a little bit of a love tap in the back, but nothing too sensitive in the background. The question is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to hold on to it? He's up in 6th position. He's crucially fighting Poddy Flack, who's down in 11th position. Now he's gone off the road. He's gone off the road. He's going to tumble down the order back to his old fighting sparring buddy in the 68. There he is. Kane Alexander has got a lovely run as they're 2x2 side by side. In the front, Luke Dugdale is trying to get past George. There he is there, 3x3 as they go through. That's going to be a really close battle between the two. They haven't held on to it. He has held on to it. No, he hasn't held on to it. Yes, he has. So Ashbourne riding from the rear view camera now. There he is up on the tailplane. He's in fourth. Right behind that is Craig Deek as we ride on board from Craig Deek's car. Right behind that you can see T-Joke. He's going to get a lovely turn as we ride on board with him now. Here he is, 6th position. You will see here, watch that number in the screen as he builds up into that second phase, builds up the RPM, builds up the speed. It should slowly but slowly get sooner and closer, but it doesn't. It really doesn't until we hit the braking zone. This is going to be an audacious move. Can he get the car stopped? Yes, he does. Sensational between those two. In the background, Butcher has Anton on the left side. Anton in the 28 got the job done. Markham there. He's the 3rd car in the row in the number 9. He's tried to do something. Bullen is trying to go around the outside of Dougie. Bullen, there he is in the number 88. If he goes any faster than that, he'll be going back to the future. But he's managed to hold on to it as we come down behind a board that says Monza. Guess where we are? That's correct, Monza into the second S's. As we see Bullen here, Butcher trying to get past Anton. Anton runs wide. He's going to have to hit the brakes. He slots in behind, closes that door shut. Deeks and D-Joke and Simon are still battling each other, trying to keep an eye on all of this. So much going on. There is Bullen and Dugdale, and you can see now Poddy Flack in the background is going, someone's gone off into the kitty litter. Who is that? Who has lost it? One of the drivers, Anton has gone off. He's going to be at the back of the grid. The problem now is there's a massive trail of cars. So this is the battle for 6th position. In 6th position is, where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. In 6th position, there it is. Anton trying to muscle his way past the 23 of Butcher. Has he managed to get the job done? Yes, he has. Well, he runs wide, but he gets the job done. But as you can see now, riding from the rear view camera of Butcher, that is the number 9. That is Aaron. He's going to try to go around the outside of the parabolica. It's just not going to work. He's going to have to try and slot in. The problem is, Butcher opened the door massively wide. Aaron is going to attempt to go around the outside. Deeks has gone off at the front. He's in the number 82. And then you've got the gaggle of cars all just fighting and tussling each other with 8 minutes 50 remaining. And the problem is they're all slowing each other up now. They don't have enough in the tank to get past one another. And as a result, they're ending up fighting. Nick Papadim has had a slowdown again. But that's just slight track limits. Bullen's on the back of George, but I'm keeping an eye on this battle here. So Craig Deeks, there he is. He must have damage to the car. He seems to be going slower and slower. Butcher has managed to get a little bit of a gap now from Markham. He's in 9th position. In 10th position. There he is. 1, 2, 3. That number 9 white Honda. He's in 10th position. He is slowly building up the speed. Poddy Flack is right behind with Anton. It's equal machinery, 2 different nationalities. Do they play fair? 1, 2 into the braking zone? Yes, they do. They're all sorting themselves out now. Craig's having another slowdown penalty. I think Mike has now done the dirty on George. Yes, he has. He's got that job done. Into 5th he goes. Luke Dugdale's in a solid 7th position as it stands at the moment. Clough has just disappeared into the distance with Papa Tim. Neil is right behind. They're all kind of matching each other, actually. And funny enough, Neil is the fastest. This man here is the fastest man on track as we ride on board with him. And I am keeping an eye on the back of the rest of the field. We're going to leave this battle now because we're going to rejoin the battle for whatever positions this is. This is 9th. So you've got 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. He's going to go side by side. Poddy's going to try to hang it up there. He just makes contact. He makes contact. I cannot believe it. He spun round. He spun round Anton. Anton has then run out of points. And at the back he goes. I'm hoping I hit the button. We will find out after that. That will now release the rest of the field. He's crabbing in the background. I think T-Joke has got some serious damage to that car. He's crabbing in the background. Neil is now going to attempt to go past Papa Dim, but he's got the ability because Papa Dim Papadim unfortunately had a slowdown penalty. They're going to be 2 by 2 into this chicane. Does he muscle his way past? Just enough. Leaves him 1 car width into the corner. Ding dang dong, job done. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Papadim hasn't given this up. He's on the left side, but don't forget Papadim does have ballast on board the car, and that will severely compromise his race and hinder him as we get into the later stages here with 6 minutes 20 remaining. Hard on the brakes, down into second gear through the left-right second chicane before we get to the lesbians. And another slowdown penalty. Another slowdown penalty. It's really compromising him now. Butcher has now got, so this is 9th and 10th, and 9th is, 9th and 8th. As we ride on board, and you can see here, the gap between Deeks and Butchers has kind of been about the same for the entire race. So they're really, really trying to hold on to each other, and really, really trying to determine whether or not, who's going to take this. Craig Dixon goes back. But Papadim hasn't given up the battle. So Papadim is in 3rd. He is in that Renault. And he is right behind. Stu Neal has got himself into 2nd position. That is 2nd and 3rd. And those two have been absolutely nose to tail for the entire race. And as a result, Clough at the front now has a 5-second lead above the rest of the field. It's going to be really tricky now. Ashbourne here, riding from the rear view camera. You can see Bullen is slowly but surely starting to reel him in. Ashbourne's last lap was a 2 minutes 444. Bullen's was a 2:474, but he's getting closer. Bullen is slowly but surely getting closer to the rest of the field. T-Joke in the back has now gone up into 11th position. Stevie Gonhog is right by him, but Papadim and Neil are still battling each other, and that's the beauty of what I was saying before about the slipstream effect here. Plays a massive, massive key in terms of the ability. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Back to that one. Plays a massive, massive key in terms of the ability that they can do there, in terms of being able to get past the car in front. So it's going to be very, very close, I think, between these two as we ride and leave this battle now, and we're going to join the battle for 8th and 9th. So we ride from the rear view camera of 8th position. Right behind that is Butcher in the 23. Audi in the 9th car. He has got ballast on board, but not as enough as Brands Hatch, which was 100 kilograms. So he'll be loving the lighter car. The problem is he's kind of stuck in the middle of the field. As you can see here, he can brake later from that one. He can brake later from the man in front. The man in front, that is Craig Deeks. And you can see here, it's 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. That Hyundai just gets the legs as it gets into the second phase. Doug is in a solid 7th position, and you can see that it's really, really starting to mix up the field now in terms of the separation. That's the early problem, is that everyone's so busy squabbling at the start of the race that they then start to naturally find their progression. Kane Alexander is on the back of Poddy Flack. There is Alexander. He hasn't checked himself out to get a McFlurry this week. The question is, he must have damage. Poddy must have sustained some sort of a damage, because Alexander's just driven round him. But we leave that. Papadim, he's had a slowdown penalty, another slowdown penalty. Pushing too hard, and that's why he's lost the position. Papadim right behind is trying to hold on to it here. The question is, can he do anything? It's going to be the ballast here. This is 2nd and 3rd position, don't forget. And as a result, it's going to really cost them in terms of what they want to do. To see, can he get past? Does he go for the lunge? He's gone for the lunge again. The question is, has he gone for the lunge? It's a little bit of messy driving there. He's going to try the old switcheroo, but that Lincoln Co, after the initial phase, will just drive away because he hasn't got the ballast on board. And that's the key. That 2nd place man, Stu Neal, 100, the car number 100, that Cyan, which is the Chinese Volvo. I love that look. He's just been able to drive, but those last lap, this is the problem they're causing each other. That last lap, Clough had gained he's gained 2 seconds now. He's gained 2 seconds on that last lap because they're too busy fighting each other. And because they're too busy squabbling, Clough has just now managed to start banging in lap time after lap time. But we leave that as Bullen now. Simon Ashbourne's had a slowdown penalty. Simon Ashbourne had a slowdown penalty, which has allowed Bullen Bullen's in 4th position. Don't forget, he qualified in the middle of the field. Ashbourne is carrying ballast. There he is. He is in 5th position. I think George has just run off the track. Yes, he has. George is in the 96. He's the 3rd car in your picture. But there is Ashbourne. Ashbourne is trying to deliver something from here as we ride on board now. And you'll see the difference. His tyres must be really hurting at this phase of the race because he's just not being able to deliver that performance that we know he's got in the car. We saw it last week at Brands Hatch, but he's just put himself in 5th position. Bullen has just been slowly picking each other off. Aaron's day is going from bad to worse. He's down in 10th, but he's getting a little bit better, but not enough. Yes, I don't think Ashbourne's going to be able to do anything. He's just gapping. Dugdale's just got to hold on for one more lap, and he will secure a solid 7th position. No, 6th position. He's going to be in 6th. Deeks in 8th. Either Deek ran off the road or he's had a little bit of a trip. And really riding on board now with George. Here he is. He's in 6th position, don't forget. Sorry, no, he's in 7th. He is fighting the man ahead. That is Luke Dugdale. The question is, as we ride from the rear camera, does the man behind go for something? Does he attempt to push it up to the side? He's got to go for the last brake manoeuvre. Can he get the car stopped? Does he have a better feeling? Oh, he does. He's going to stick his nose just enough at the front to tell him he's there, but he's round. That's always going to happen. That's always going to happen. You have to be more confident. The problem is that it's always going to end that way, and it's actually compromised Butcher, Deeks in the background. So Deeks is in 8th, Butcher's in 9th. Nick Papadim has had another slowdown penalty that will give Neil the 2nd position. Because he's not going to be able to do anything. We're timed out in the race. So it's now last gun-ho attempt. The question is, who is going to be here? Luke Dugdale should secure 6th, which I believe is his highest place finish this season so far. No, it's not his highest place. That was a 1st. Kane Alexander, another slowdown penalty. They're just at the back now, just having a squabble by themselves. But they will put them into pole position for race 2. For race 3, and Anton is going to be at the front for race 3, so it's actually going to play into their hands. George is actually down in 7th position, but he was always going to finish there. He is the 3rd, 1, 2, 3, 4th car, 2nd car, that green 96. There is Luke in the 52. There is George in the 96. Right behind that is Craig Deeks, who's been up and down more positions than I've had chocolate dinners. And as a result, that's really causing him to melt tonight. So it's going to be really key what he does. Ashbourne is now on the back of Bullen, but I think it's too little too late. Ashbourne, I don't think, is going to sail it up the inside from this section. Deeks is trying to go around George. That's just not going to work in the closing stages of the race. There is Deeks, he's in the white 92 Elantra. Just ahead of that is George in the 96. I think he's praying he doesn't get mugged to the line. The question is now, it's a style-out drag between the two. He gives him a little bit of a love tap to push him, but is it going to do anything? Deeks is just going to hold on. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. He was never going to survive with that amount of overspeed. Fantastic. Fantastic. Butcher finishes in 9th. Markham finishes in 10th. T-Joke is 11th. Stevie Gone Hog on his return will bring the home car in 12th. Kane Alexander will be in 13th. Don't forget he started last. He's starting 13th. Poddy in the 14th. I don't think I pressed the right button, but we'll have a quick look. I pressed something, but I'm not quite sure what I pressed. No. Turns out I didn't even press the right button. It's the completely wrong thing. Well, there we go. That was the difference. So Clough was your winner, but the fastest lap by 0.2 of a second was Neil. And so Neil really could have won that. Now he's in prime position for race 2. The starting order of race 1 will be the starting order. Finishing order of race 1 will be the starting order of race 2. So it's really, really going to play into that person's hands. It's going to be really exciting. Unfortunately, I still haven't been able to fix the driver chat, so I do apologise for that. But as I said, we are live, and my OBS had to do a massive update. And because it had to do itself an update, it's kind of just thrown all its toys out the pram, and that's really, really cost what's happened. So you're going to be stuck with me, unfortunately, until I can get that resolved. The question is. is going to be basically is anyone can go into chat and see anything. No doubt there'll be many conversations in terms of the driving after that race, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Monza is one of those really weird tracks. Because it's long, straight tracks, there can be a lot of contact between the drivers, and that can cause some disagreements and discussions, as we say. So as I always say, we only ever get to see one view. That's all we ever see. We don't get to see anything else, unfortunately. We're going to see if we can refresh the server list to get you some exciting stuff. There it is. We will now jump in. Hopefully we can have the drivers back for next week. But like I said, it's all to do with that fact that we have to reset everything. I don't know. It's on the list of things to fix along with other things I've got to do. There you go. There is a Halloween sale. It's 20% off. We are sponsored by TTP Models Limited. At the top, they are a fantastic company. They don't provide any funding, which is why we are able to do this without the advisory warning. But if you want to go and check out some Tamiya stuff, they are the UK's leading supplier and importer of Tamiya parts in the UK. We do get an exclusive discount. I've got to check that we still do. I think it's TCSRL 10, and that's only on hop-ups or spare parts. It's not on kits. So you can't go and buy that new Senna McLaren TTO2. It's lovely kit. It's a lovely kit. Or the TRF 420X. Unfortunately, you do have to buy those separately. The drivers will now get around 4 or 5 minutes to be able to jump in. Once they've jumped in, after they've jumped in, basically it will be lights out. And it will be away we go for race 2. Now, race 2... it is all done on the finishing positions of race 1. So wherever the drivers finished on race 1 is where they will end up for race 2. So Clough will start first, followed by Neil. And that's key because don't forget from race 1, Stu Neil was faster than Michael Clough, which he was actually, it was a 1.58.4 versus a 1.58.6, I think. So that's really going to play into his hands. More importantly as well, he will be on I think it's the right side of the grid. So that's really going to help him out. He's just got to be able to get a good launch start. He's got to time it perfectly, and if he times it perfectly, he'll be then able to launch the car. Some of these drivers are coming in, going in, it loads the whole program. They can go out and do a lap if they want. It's not going to make a lot of difference with 2 minutes 56 remaining. They'll all be in there now basically setting up the cars, looking at how much fuel to put in board. We do run default setups, and it's 2 times tyre wear, which is why the ballast really starts to take effect, because the ballast really affects how the car can be handled. The 2 times tyre effect, it's towards the end of the race. One of the cars that's really prone to that, well, all cars are prone to it, and it affects how you can stop the car, brake the car, turn the car. Last week out at Brands Hatch, 2 weeks ago out at Brands Hatch, you saw that the Hondas really suffered towards the last 3 minutes of the race. I think it was the front right tyre was completely red. And because of that, it really suffered in terms of what could be done. So, yeah, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be really tricky. I'm going to try this button to see if it works. I don't think it does because I think I've got to be in a different program. For some reason, it comes up with that. I'm still trying to figure out all the buttons. Like I said, there's been some updates that have gone through. Yeah, that's why. There's been some updates that have gone through, and those updates, unfortunately, have scrambled the whole system. So I am trying to fix those, but I won't be fixed for this week. We do have the sound. I've managed to get that back up and working. So it's going to be, yes, Aaron's saying we are in the Discord chat waiting for interview. Aaron, I have an issue. For some reason, I can't pull it through on my race room. On the OBS, I had to reinstall and do an update in OBS, and it scrambled the audio channel. So every time I go into that audio to try and pick it up, it just crashes the system. So for this week, I have stayed out of it. because I want to stay here and not have to reboot the computer. I hope to have that function up and running. Let me rephrase that. I will have that function up and running by the end of next week. Sorry, by the start of next week's racing. But today, unfortunately, you are stuck with me in the old days, like when we used to do it on PlayStation 4, which was me just talking to myself. So that's what we're looking at the moment. We'll follow Luke around in the 52. That's a great camera view. So that's why, unfortunately, you can't. Yeah, I'm not in there. So I do apologise. It is what it is, unfortunately. Some of the new functions we've got in OBS, I am actually hoping to be able to bring those to you. But as it currently stands, this is where we are. It's 20 seconds left of the practice, then we go into basically it's a preloading screen. It's gone off the track. It's a preloading screen that goes in, and that preloading screen. How do I describe it? Basically, it's where the drivers all have to go in and get ready. The reason we run, they run I think it's a 7-minute start time, is so that everyone has time to get in, have themselves a comfort break, get whatever they need to. So that's where we are. Let's go around. It'll reset itself in a minute, and then we'll go into the minute build-up. This is where all the drivers get ready. They'll be in there changing their settings. Yeah, this is where we go. So it's now the 58 minutes, 58 seconds, and then we'll go racing. Monza is a fantastic track for those of you that have watched it. It is the home of the Italian Grand Prix. It is a Ferrari stronghold in terms of the support that is delivered there. As you've no doubtly seen over the years, it's had as many huge accidents. Turn 1 is a particularly treacherous corner because everybody piles in. Thankfully, we didn't have any accidents in Turn 1 this time out, which was very, very good. But we are holding on to it. We will see. Here we go, lights out. We will get racing now. Watch for the lights at the top. Engine notes will rise. Everyone will be getting ready. Clough is at the front of the grid. Neil is on the right side. That is key. And it's away we go. And they launch the car into the first corner. And who has had a fantastic start into the first phase of this race is pile down to the first corner. Mike Bullen has had a fantastic start. The question is he going to be able to get up there? No, he isn't. He's managed to hold it. Nick Papadim in the Renault in the 34 has managed to get all the way down into second position. Fantastic. Stu has gone down to third. You can see there Ashbourne. Luke Dugdale's gone off in the past. Ashbourne, he's right behind into fourth position. He'll be absolutely ecstatic with that from that position. Right behind that. You can see the rest of the field is starting to stream through. The question is, are they streaming through quick enough to get their position? Down the gearbox they go. Mike Bullen is into fifth position. Dietz is in 6th. He needs to hold that one as Luke's gone down, Poddy Flack, and Anton is making his way up like a bat out of hell, all the way from the back into 10th position. Slots himself in. Now he just needs to get the hammer down and get gone as quick as he can. As you can see in the background, Poddy Flack has now got Luke Dugdale right up his rear end. The question is Dugdale going to be able to do anything? 13:47, a little puff of smoke there from the rear end there of somebody's car, which I don't know the number of. I think it was Butcher's car. As we see here, riding from the front view camera just ahead is the number 12 of Luke Dugdale. Right behind him is Kane Alexander. As we look from the rear view camera, you can see they're all nose to tail, door to door, through the little left-right-hander. The question is he going to do anything? No, they slot themselves in. But look at the front. Look at the front. You can see there, Clough has right behind him. It's the 1, 2, 3. The 2 Lincoln Co's. And in the middle is a Renault Sandwich. The 34, that's Nick Papadim, don't forget. He has very minimal ballast on this week. Cloughy has no ballast and Neil has no ballast. It's the 2 ballast cars, but the slipstream down here is absolutely sensational. You can see the 34. That is second place man. Nick Papadim, he's holding on to it. He's going to go to the left side. Stu Neal will follow him through. Michael Bullen in the background is attempting the same pass on Ashbourne. A little bit of a love tap between those two, but they've managed to slot themselves in. A love tap on the back gives him a boot. They all just clout into each other, and Neil says, well, if you two are fighting, I'm just going to go around the outside of you. Sensational stuff there from Neil. He will compromise his exit. Ashbourne now has has T-Joke and Bullen. Bullen's run wide, I think, and that's pushed the other two drivers into the clutches of him. You can see there, T-Joke is on the right side of your screen. Well, he's not, but he will be in a minute. Boom, there he is. Bullen's going to go around the outside of the lots of them. That's an audacious move. They've all managed to go off. The board on the right is just going to go slow down penalty. They've all got slow down penalties. But that's the problem they have, because they're so busy fighting each other, they're not holding on to it. Track limit abuse, he's either got to get rid of that or it's going to be slow down. As you can see, Bullen in the 88, he is the fourth car in the row. There he is. He is fighting the man in front. There he is. That is T-Joke. T-Joke now has got stuck behind the 86 of Craig Deeks. And Bullen is going to go around the outside into Ascari. But this is an audacious move. He's really going to have nerves of steel to get this done. In the background, that cluster of cars is all fighting each other again. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, as they go through the left, right chicane out to Ascari. And you can see there is Body Flack. He is the massive cork in that bottle, but once again, Nick Papadim and Stu Neal and Ashbourne are all fighting each other, trying to keep up here. We're going to stick with the battle for fourth. So in fourth is Ashbourne. He's the Hyundai, number 19, that white 82. That is Craig Deeks. Right behind that, you can see the cars of all the other guys. And as we flip to the Kelly camera, you can see Craig Deeks has now got the run. He's the right car. They're going to go off the outside of the track to try and break the stream to get round and slot in behind the car ahead. And you can see there, T-Joke is now attempting to do the same manoeuvre. Bullen will coke up the inside. He's the fourth row. He's that number 88. The question is he going to be able to do anything? There's the wrong camera there, through the static camera. 1, 2, 3. It's all gone a bit Pete Tong. Let's go back to the TV camera. T-Joke has now managed to get past the lots of them, but Bullen isn't giving this up yet. Bullen's a wily old fox. He's not going to give this up without any sense of a fight. There he is. We're on board with him now. 7th place man. There is Simon Ashbourne. He is in 6th place. Ahead of that is T-Joke. He's in 5th. Mike is going to have to think better of that position. Ashbourne's just going to outbrake himself. He's going to get a whole host of slow down penalties. And if he keeps that up, he's going to be going backwards. Nick Papadim has been passed by Michael Clough, and Stu Neal is still leading. So Nick Papadim started in third, was in second after the opening lap, and now is back to third. Now these two, Neal and Clough, first and second, need to not squabble with each other and get the job done to get away from Nick Papadim. If they can get away from Nick Papadim, who's in third place, he's the third car, that Renault, as we ride on board with him now. This is going to be the key, because otherwise those front two are going to be squabbling with each other, and it's going to lose them 1.2 seconds a lap. That's the problem they're going to have. As we ride from the rear view camera now of our current race leader, Stu Neal, you get the feeling he's not going to be able to hold on to this as he goes through into the Parabolica. He's let it go. He's actually, I want that one. I want one of the cameras. There it is. He's going to get mugged again. Nick Papadim is going to probably come up the rear end of these two and rob them all. But we're going to leave that battle, and we're going to follow the battle now for T-Joke. We're going to see how T-Joke does. You can see there is Craig Deeks. He's currently in fourth position. Right behind that, that is Nick it is T-Joke, and behind that is Bullen. And Bullen is going to be the one here that is going to be the one to watch. There we are, Bullen right at the screen. He's darted himself out going into the first chicane. The question is, can he get the car stopped? That was so close into that. Has he got it done? No, he hasn't got it done. T-Joke outbraked himself. He's going to run wide, and that's crucially going to put him right at the back now, because Mike should be able to get the legs on him as they come through this right section and then into the second chicane and then to the Parabolicas. Neal is now, Clough has got past Neal again. So there's another change for the lead, but we're going to leave that battle and rejoin the battle for, this is 4th, 5th and 4th, 5th and 6th, 5th and 6th. Bullen got that done. So yeah, T-Joke had a slow down penalty. Aaron's had another slow down penalty. Now George is the massive cork in the bottle in all of this. So this is the battle for 7th position. So in 7th position is the 96. There he is. That is the green car, that green Seat of George. He has 100 kilograms on the car. He is suffering with everything. Right behind that is Ashbourne, and on the left side, that number 11 Lincoln Co is Body Flag. Right behind that is Anton, and these two seem to be stuck together like glue this race. So they're all fighting each other. Dougie, who started in 7th, is down in 14th. And Kane Alexander is in 15th again. So I think Ashbourne's gone wide. And that's put him back on the track. He'll get a slow down penalty and a track limit abuse. And as a result, that should release Poddy in the Lincoln Co. He's just going to have a faster car. Poddy is on the right side. You can see in the background there, Bullen and T-Joker still fighting each other. So the 28 is Anton on the left. Then you've got Poddy, who's going to try and go around the outside of Muscari, but he's just going to run wide out there. That's going to achieve absolutely nothing through that section of corners. And that's really helpful. Junior hasn't left on the battle in front. So we're going to rejoin the battle for the lead. So in the lead is the number 12. That is Michael Clough. Then you've got Nick Papadim in the 34. Right behind that, you've got Stu Neal, who's in 3rd position. I thought he was going to do something there. Bullen and Tito are still fighting. Bullen is attempting. He's just not going to go round there. Going into that first set for Shea Tito's another slow down penalty. Another slow down penalty. So it's really, really going to have to hinder him in what he's doing. Stu Neal is now on the back of Nick Papadim. He should get this done. Whoa. That was very, very scruffy. Very, very scruffy between those two. Nick Papadim will have a huge slowdown penalty for that, and no doubt that will be talked about post-race. Has he got all 4 wheels on his wagon? He has all 4 wheels on his wagon. Are they all pointing in the right direction? Yes. Yes, they are. Now, George, once again, is the huge blocker in the court. Poddy Flack has now got past Anton. So Anton has now got past the rest of them. The question is, has he managed to get that? Luke Dugdale is right at the back, and he's having a fight with Stevie Gonhol. Aaron Markham is just kind of in the middle. And he's a blocker for Butcher and for Ashbourne and for Dugdale. So they're all just kind of now being stuck behind George. And that's really going to hinder him. So Poddy just needs to get this job done. He needs to get past him, get past George and get ahead, because George is basically blocking everybody in terms of where they are. They're going to go 2 by 2 this section. This is going to be very tricky. Butcher is trying to go and hold on to Aaron. Aaron will hold it. Will's Butcher. Aaron just holds on to that. The problem now Poddy Flack has, riding from the rear view camera, this is 7th position. In 8th position is the 96 on the right side of the screen. In 10th position, no, in 9th position, that's 8th and 9th, is the 28 of Anton. But Poddy has been very weak through this section, so he's not been able to deliver. Mike Bullen is going to attempt to go for another overtaking opportunity. The question is he going to be able to do it? Bullen is going to go up the left side, but this isn't the preferred way of taking that corner. It really, really hampers you as you go through into that section. And he's just let it go. He's just hit the brakes in the background. And as we see here from the heli camera of Anton, can he go through? Can he get the job done? He squeezes up the inside. That will be, he's run across the road. He'll get a slow down for that. Yeah, that's a slow down penalty. So he's going to have to be very, very careful where he now loses that penalty. And because of that, it's going to hamper him now. It's really going to hamper his progress. He's going to have to really think about where he wants to shave it, where he's going to get rid of that penalty. He's going to attempt to brake a little bit earlier. Butcher, they've all gone into the back of each other. Ashbourne, I think, was trying to avoid the whole accident, has kept the road, has kept the tyres pointing in the right direction and on the road. Butcher is going to attempt to go up the inside of Anton, but Anton is having none of it. After that first race, he's saying, no, this is where we're going. Butcher's in the 23, by the way. There he is. Right behind that is Anton in the 28. He's a mid. He's run wide. He's run wide. Has he broken something? No, he's just run wide. He's just run wide out. He's just had a poor exit. I think he's had a poor exit. He must have had a poor exit. Otherwise, he really would have struggled. I think he must have had a poor exit. But we leave that now. We've rejoined the battle for 4th position. So in 4th position is Craig Deek. He's in the 52. Championship Y FN2. Sim seat snapped. Race 1 GPU crashed. 2. God knows what's going to happen in race 3. I presume that is Kane Alexander. Bullen's gone off to get himself. I don't know where he's gone, but he's gone on the wrong side of the track. This will now release Tijo to attempt to go after Craig Deek. Craig Deek is in the 82, so he's really going to attempt to go after him. The question is he going to be able to deliver it from this section. Is he going to be able to do it? Stu Neal there. So don't forget, Stu Neal and that Nick Papadim had it coming together. So, you know, we only get to see it from one. Yeah, he's going to go around the outside. He's just going to go up the inside. So it's just going to happen. Where's Butcher and Anton? Anton, 2 minutes 25. They'll get 2 more laps here. They'll get 2 more laps. Anton is really, it's another slowdown penalty. That's the problem with that first corner. It's so easy to overrun and get a track limit abuse, and that's the problem they've got. Luke Dugdale, I think, has retired to the pits, so he's really, really going to struggle in that section of the race. George basically is down in 12th position. George has had some real tough battle, but he will be very, very happy at the end of these 3 races to get rid of the ballast. That 100 kilograms at this racetrack is always going to suffer. So this is actually the best race of the season to have maximum ballast, because you can shed it the quickest. He's overdriving the car now. He's trying to push it, and another slowdown penalty. So he's trying to push it. Ashbourne is trying to recover. They're all suffering. They're all suffering at the closing stages of the race. They will get 1 more lap, 2 more laps including this one, and that will be it. So failing any last dipped attempts from anybody, George is just. I think George is just trying to bring the car home, unless he's got damage. Does he have damage on the car going through Scary? I think he's just suffering. He's either not got enough fuel, or he's suffering with the car. Let's just listen to the engine. No, I think he's just suffering. We now leave the battle once again. So this is T-Joke. Luke saying he's had a slowdown penalty, but he's coming up on the borders off the road. So this is it. This is the last ditch attempt here for the man behind. This is 4th place man Craig Deeks. Right behind that is 5th place man T-Joke. These two are going to be locked in battle here on who is going to take that race victory. Who is going to be the championship leader? Oh, he's gone for the last attempt. He's gone for the last brake lunge. He sailed it up the inside. Does he get the car stopped? Does he get it rotated? Yes, he does. What a sensational move. He absolutely held it. The problem is Craig Deek will not let that go. There he is in the 82. Craig is going to go up the inside, coming out through the 2 right-handers to the 2nd set of chicane, and he will have a much better drive because he doesn't have the ballast. T-Joke is going to have to be mighty on the brakes. He goes out wide. Is he going to get the car stopped? No. Sensational between these two. Absolutely beautiful. T-Joke coming up on the board again. The limits are so close, and look who's lurking in the background. It's Mike Bullen. So he was as high as 5th position. As we ride on board with him now, here he is, 6th position, just ahead. You can see T-Joke, and they're closing. He's closing. But is he closing enough? He needs to get in within 0.2 of a second and go for the run as he comes down to that final straight out of the parabolica. That's what he's going to do. He needs to keep it nice and tidy. And T-Joke has gone for the last late brake manoeuvre. He's just going to say, where's he gone? He sailed himself. He tried to stop the car, but he didn't stop enough. That's never going to work. Bullen just says, thank you very much. See you later. Cannot believe it. T-Joke was on for a solid 5th position, and he just overcooked it coming out of that corner, and as a result Bullen will go up into 5th position. He says thank you very much. What an absolutely sensational drive, but he's not done yet. Craig Deek has absolutely hampered that Hyundai. Bullen is going to get a run to the line. The question is he going to get a run quick enough? Is he going to run out of road? I don't think there's going to be enough tarmac. He needed to be there sooner or later, and it's 1, 2, 3 across the line. Craig Deeks holds on to 4th position. Bullen gets a recovery to 5th. T-Joke gets a solid 6th position. Poddy Flack recovers to 7th. Butcher's in 8th. Anton is in a solid 9th. Simon's in 10th. Aaron is in 11th. And he's probably thinking, I'm glad that's over. 30-second penalty added to T-Joke. He finishes 13th. I wonder if that's for the slowdown penalty he ignored at the end of the race. He just thought he'd take it and see what happened. So there is your winner, is Michael Clough. Nick Papadim is 2nd. Neil is 3rd. Deeks is 4th. Bullen is 5th. Flack is 6th. Flack is promoted to 6th. Butcher is 7th. Anton is 8th. Ashbourne is 9th. Markham is 10th. Speedy God Hog is 11th. George is 12th. And then we have T-Joke is 13th. And then we have Luke and Alexander, who I believe is Championship White FN2. So his seat snapped in race 1. The GPU crashed into race 2. So he's really, really struggling. And I often say, unfortunately, having commentated on him for the first time last week out at Brands Hatch, if he didn't have any luck, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. So, yeah, it's really, really struggling there. And it's really, really starting to hinder what he's able to do. The question is, where's my mouse? There we go. So it's going to be interesting, this final race, because it is basically it's a reset of race 1. So Anton will effectively become the de facto leader here. He's going to be top of the tree. He's going to be at the start. So it's now his perfect opportunity to take a race victory. Poddy Flat could take a race victory as well, but the minute he takes a race victory, he loses the opportunity to win the Dugdale Trophy, and there is a prize for first, second and third. So yeah, it gets to that point now where he's really got to think about which championship does he want to win. Does he want to win the race and lose the opportunity of winning the Dugdale Trophy, or does he just accept it and move on? Because at race 4 now, all points, his nearest rival, if we go to the Dugdale Trophy here, Ashbourne should take the win. Now, Neil has been higher placed than Ashbourne this week, which means that Neil should, in effect, probably become the leader or close to the leader of this championship. So, of the Dugdale Championship. So, it's really, really now all about what he wants to do and where he wants to finish. So it's going to make it very, very tricky for all the drivers. It's really, really going to have to think about what they want to do and how they want to do it, how they want to deliver that. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very tricky. Kane Alexander is back in. So I think it's Championship White FN2 is Kane Alexander. So it's going to be interesting to see what problems that he has. We're going to stick with, I'm waiting for Anton. We're going to stick with Anton, the number 28. He should be at the front of the grid for race 3. And that's going to be exciting. It's a reverse grid with ballast. Now, that means that the drivers at the back, such as Neil, Papadim and Clough, are going to have to pick their moments to fight through the race. The first 2 races are only 20 incident points. The third race is 24, but I think it's set to 30. So there's a little bit of a gap. But it doesn't mean you can just go and use them up and hope for the best. So it's really, really, really going to be tricky what they decide to do and how they decide to do it. It's 3 minutes left. And then we go into our 59-minute countdown before the race start. You'll see the cars popping in and out as they all starting to load themselves in. There's only 11 drivers in the lobby at the moment, so we're waiting for the other drivers to come in. They could be in there, it's just could be the data hasn't actually updated on my system yet. Total is 15 drivers. It is going to be a very, very interesting third and final race. It always is with touring cars. The problem with Monza, I love Monza. I think it's a fantastic track, but it's it's a very old classic circuit in the way that it's designed. It has long straights and hard braking zones, and because of that, and you can run 3 wide. The problem is that when you go into those tight braking zones, 3 into 1 doesn't fit here. Unlike the new modern tracks where you can run off into the distance or you can run wide and it doesn't cause you any issues. The problem with this type of track, you can't do that. You see it at Brands Hatch, but Brands Hatch really, from last week at the Indy circuit, really hinders you because there is no runoff at all. The last race of the season, which is Donington, the GP layout, that will really hinder the drivers as well because it's a classic track in the way that it's designed. It's a fantastic track. We also go to Suzuka as well, love that track, and Road America. Never commentated at Road America, and I've never raced a car around it from what I can remember. Might have been in Gran Turismo, but I don't know. No doubt there'll be loads and loads of talking points from that last race. Everybody's out to win. We're at the sharp end of the championship now. So it really means that they are looking to find a way to get as ahead of everybody as possible. We are missing 2 drivers. Well, according to the boarding sheet, we are missing Mr. Ashbourne. He might be in there, but it might just not be on the board yet. Yeah, we're missing Mr. Ashbourne, and yeah, we're missing Mr. Ashbourne. and one other driver. Ashbourne has finally joined. He's leaving it a little late with 1 minute and 2 seconds to go. We are missing Kane. No, he's in. He is in. Kane Alexander is in. We're missing... no, Stevie Gone Hog is in. Yeah, we're missing somebody. I don't know who. I will find the person. No, Bullen's in. We're missing somebody. Somebody, if you know, please comment in the chat box, and no doubt we will find out. It's 36 seconds remaining, and then we go into our 59-second countdown. But as we said in the pre-warm-up, the warm-up show, is that you always get pockets of cars at this track. This is one of the tracks where ballast really, really hurts the car that's carrying the most. We've seen that with George. I mean, George can overcome to a degree because of his level of driving that he has. He races in other championships as well, and I have watched him in those. And he is mighty, mighty fast. The problem is it really, really kills the tyres. The benefit he's going to have is that when he goes to Suzuka next week, where you come off the track just once, and it will severely hurt you. It's because it's an older style track. We were there racing, well, I wasn't there, but you saw it at the Formula 1. It can cause all sorts of hawky-balkiness within that. There's only 14 drivers in, according to the board, so I am missing somebody. No doubt someone will come up and will tell me who we're missing, but I haven't got the time to go back. It's a 50-second thing, and you'll see it go down to basically 0, and then we will go racing for the final race of the evening. It's a 15-minute reverse grid. The instant points are slightly higher on this because there is always a little bit of touching, please don't report me to Facebook, please, for that one. Sorry, the YouTube police. Because unfortunately, like I said, it's a classic style of track. T-Joke there in that last race, when he came out of Ascari, going into Ascari, he just absolutely hit it. Here we go. Get ready, everybody. 14 drivers on track, and we will go racing. It is going to be a sensational race. This is Anton's to win. He is a rapid driver. He should be able to do this. His lights out, and he gets a fantastic start off the line. He's already paced ahead of Poddy Flack and Kane Alexander. Can he get into the lead? He's automatically gone defensive. He's at the front of your screen. He needs to get the car stopped and rotated into the turn 1. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. Sensation. Poddy's nearly rolled it. Poddy nearly rolled the car. That's compromised his exit, but he will get a lovely tow as we ride from the rear view camera. All the other cars in the past are filing themselves into a queue. Kane Alexander now is down miles behind. He's nearly half a second, over half a second behind the other guys. Poddy Flack is going to attempt to sail it up the inside into the second corner. This is going to be an audacious move. He thinks better of it. Down the gearbox he goes. His nearest championship rival is, don't forget, Simon Ashbourne, who's all the way down at the back. He's trying to hold on to this, but they're all trying to squabble themselves into the position. Luke Dugdale has had a slow down penalty in the 52. That's going to allow Mike Bullen to go past. Has he going to be able to do it? No, he's basically been hung out to dry. Bullen's going to pass him. Is Ashbourne going to pass him as well? Ashbourne runs a little bit onto the grass. That's going to compromise his ability to exit, as we see through this is the blocker. On the left side screen, there is the 88. That 88 is Mike Bullen. He's going to attempt to go around the outside into Ascari. This is a very, very dangerous move to try and attempt that, as the heli camera is just not doing its job properly. Let's go to the action camera. There they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, straining themselves all the way through this. The question is, where we are now. This is Stu Neal. So Stu Neal is already up to P10. He's going to pass T-Joke. Right behind that is Luke Dugdale. He's trying to hold on to it at the front at the moment. Poddy Flack is the massive cork in the bottle. Anton has absolutely done what he needs to do on the first lap. And you can see here, they're all going to be all over the back of each other if they don't sort themselves out. As we ride on now, this is second place man. There goes Kane Alexander, who's just going to have a massive overdrive into that corner. Right behind that is T-Joke. He's in third. He's just gone, oh, there's contact. He's managed to get the car stopped. I cannot believe it. He managed to slow the car down just enough to hold on to it. Sensational overtake there from T-Joke to take second, but Anton is now 1.4 seconds up the road. This is Anton's to lose. If he makes makes a mistake, if he loses this, it will be game over. He's just got to keep it on the tarmac. This is second place. There goes Kane Alexander, showing some real gumption. He's outbraked himself. So is the 1, 2, 3 behind. Third to fourth all outbraked themselves. They're all going to get a wash of slowdown penalties. I cannot believe it. That's the problem. When you follow one car ahead and he outbrakes and the car behind outbrakes, they all outbrake themselves. Cannot believe what I'm seeing as they're trying to squabble and sort themselves out. Luke's got another slowdown penalty. He's picking them up like a fresh box of Tic Tacs. The question is he going to be minty fresh? We will find out in 11 minutes. But we rejoin the action for fourth and fifth. So Poddy, who started second, has just been going backwards and backwards and backwards. Started second, down into fifth. Anton at the front is 2.26 seconds ahead of Tijo. They're all properly squabbling now. Butcher's sliding it 2 by 2. Coming out of that corner, the question is he going to be able to hold on to it? Butcher is the car in the middle. The one on the left is Aaron. The one on the right is Stu Neal. So Stu Neal is now up to P6. There he is. As we ride from the rear view camera, you can see Butcher right behind, side by side with Mark, and he's in the 9. Slots himself in, sorting themselves out. Sensational driving from them. George, he's retired from the race. Not quite sure why, but he no doubt will come back on stream at some point and tell us. And you can see here, Poddy Flack once again being the cork in the bottle. Anton is now 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Craig Deek is into third, but he's just going to have to keep it in the middle of the road. Butcher avoiding everyone else in the rear as they slot themselves out. Contact in the background. Aaron Markham and Butcher. Contact between the two. It just looked like they were both trying to go for the same bit of tarmac, and it just didn't exist. And as a result, Aaron has gone all the way to 13th, but he's probably quite happy. Kane Alexander, who was starting at the front row, in third position, is now down to 8th. He's really fighting. There is some yellow flags coming on the board for them. I'm not sure those flags are, but there's flags. Butcher riding on board now with Butcher. He has, you can see in the rear view camera, the man Kane Alexander right behind. He's in 8th position. He's just holding. He's absolutely binned it. He's binned it. Kane Alexander. What happened to Kane Alexander? I don't know, but in the computer, I think my computer just had a massive wobbly. I don't think anybody died. Someone's had a game crash. Nick Papadin has had a game crash. That's why he's not racing. That's who's not in this. So Nick Papadim is going to lose a load of points now. But at the front, Anton is doing everything he needs to do. T-Joke, he's managed to break ahead. 9 minutes 24. It was a 1:59 versus a 2 seconds 6. He's a second a lap faster. Poddy Flack is in 4th. He's attempting to go round Craig Deeks. Craig Deek is the white car on the left side of the screen. The number 82. The number 11 is Poddy Flack. But he has got a very dented front bumper. And I'm not sure if it's dented because it's dented or dented because the game has crashed. But it's going to be all guns blazing as we go down. It will be now what is the comparative speed as we ride from the rear view camera, and you can see as we ride on board now with Bullen in 5th position. He's got a massive overspeed against the man to the right, which is Poddy Flack. Poddy Flack will be on the left. He's that number 11. Boom, second car in the screen. Left side, the right one is the number 8 of Mike Bullen. Yeah, the game's just had its own little crash there, and as a result, it's given everybody a little bit of a love tap on the bonnet. It is what it is. So they've not got damaged cars. They've just what the game is showing. Craig Deek once again is being the core. Is managing to fight away. Poddy Flack is being a cork to the bottom. Once again, he's on the right side. Bullen just needs to hold it. He just needs to keep this line and tab a little bit breaker. That front-wheel drive Honda is mighty on the brakes. Just like that. Gets the car stopped. Gets the car rotated. Says thank you very much. Poddy carries a lot more speed through those sections of the chicane. Just doesn't have the ability. And there you can see 4 Lincoln cones, all nose to tail. Clough is following through his old buddy ahead. There goes the number 100, that's Stu Neal. There they are, 1, 2, 3, 4 Lincoln cones. Count them, 4 from all the way from 5th down to 9th position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone's just gone off for a little trip in the background. That's the Hog. He's gone for his own little trip. But Neil now is attempting to get from that rear view camera. He's doing a stellar job holding up. He's run wide. Just as he said that, the commentator has come in and cursed him. That will be a slow down penalty. He'll have a very quick time in order to get rid of that. Otherwise, it is going to be all over the show. And there you can see, there's the slow down penalty. There's the slow down penalty. So that has gifted Neil and Clough into those positions. There is Bullen currently in 4th position, and as you can see, he is now still stuck behind the 2 drivers, but with 6 minutes 57 remaining, the 2 at the front are now matching each other for time. It was a 2-minute dead. He was 0.4 of a second faster on the last lap. Bullen is going to attempt to go up the inside of Craig Deeks into the first chicane, but that is going to be a mighty challenge if he's going to do that. At the background, I think Kane Alexander has pulled wide, but he's not going to get through there. 68 on the right, that is Kane Alexander. Then you've got Poddy Flat, these two are just stuck together like glue. It was a very audacious move. Kane Alexander will have a slow down penalty. Bullen there is now he's in 4th position. As we ride now on board, let's ride on board with Clough, who's attempting to try and get the man ahead, which is Stu Neal. Don't forget that Neal ahead was 3rd in race 1, and he's attempting to do what he can through the little left-right-hander, bouncing all over the curb. Mike is just not as strong in that section as the other guys. But when we get to this section, as we ride from the rear view camera, this is where that lovely, lovely front-wheel drive car that is the Honda, built in Swindon no less, than was built in Swindon, gets an absolutely better drive. It's just much better here. Stu Neal is coming out of the slipstream. I think he's trying to sell him as dummy, but I don't think it's going to be a dummy enough. Oh, he's had to go. Bullen's had to go wide because Craig Deek is on the left side. Stu Neal is going to have to be very audacious to go up the inside. They've got to make sure they don't touch and nose and grind. 1, 2, 3, they've all gone through. Craig Deek there, I think, just thinking better of it. Just thinking, I'm just going to let him go. Or he's really struggling with the car. But once again, Bullen, now in 3rd position, in a podium position, is up to 3rd position. So the question is he going to hold on to this? It's 5 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Anton at the front is down. The gap at the lead is 1.6 seconds. I am watching. Has Anton had a slowdown? Has Anton? No, he's not. So it's Anton followed by T-Joke, followed by Bullen, who is the cork in the massive, massive bottle of following gaggle of cars. So Bullen is the first car. There he is, the number 88. He is 3rd, riding from the rear view camera. Right behind that is Stu Neal. Look at the overspeed. Look at that Lincoln Co. Look at what the car in front, as it punches that hole in the air. It just gives that ability. It gives an almighty slipstream, and that's Baz, who's run wide. The 100, there he is. Stu Neal has run wide. He's the 2nd car from the front of your picture. Not that one. Not the purple one, but that one, the number 100. That is Stu Neal in the number 4. Right behind that is Michael Clough, race winner. Stu Neal is still searching for his first race win in this league, but more important, he's gone wide. Clough is where he thought better of it. Clough thought better of it. He's run wide. He's run wide. Deeks has run wide. Has Neil run wide? Is that Neil? Is that Neil? Has Neil run wide? Yes, Neil ran wide, I apologise. Neil ran wide, and that's gifted it to Cloughy. So Cloughy gets a position, but at the front, it is starting to get hot. Anton is at 1.29 seconds. He really needs to get his head down now. If it gets to within a second, they'll be in the slipstream. 3:37, it's a 2-minute lap dead. So he should... No, it's going to be 2 more laps. 3 more laps, including this one. It's 2.5 laps. 1.5 seconds. T-Joke is absolutely cremating him. Butcher, there he is in the... so he's just gone past Craig Deek. Has Craig Deek got damage? Has he got damage? Has he broken something? He just seems to have lost confidence in the car. He's not been able to deliver what we saw him at the early stages of the race. Aaron in the background is fighting the hog. So there is Aaron. He is the 5th car in your picture. Right behind that is on the left side, that is Aaron. So Aaron should go up the inside. There are a little bit of a love touch between them. Hits the brakes through the right side. Do they keep it nice and tidy? Yeah, just enough. A little bit of love tap on the way out, but these two will be fighting each other. There is Craig Deek once again. He was up near the front and he's just gone from back to back to back. Craig Deek is in 7th. T-Joke is within that 2nd gap. It's going to be 2 more laps. 2 more laps. It was at half a second on that last lap. So Anton is now feeling the pressure. Stu Neal has outbraked himself. I wouldn't go through. Whoa. So it looks like in this game you can take a shortcut from there. So he's rejoining the track down in 6th position. I think he just outbraked himself, but no doubt that will be talked about. So he will get away with the slowdown penalty. Has he damaged the car? Yeah, something's not right with the car. It just doesn't have the power of the others. So he's got some damage to the car. Ashbourne is on his way down, so Clough is now at the back of Butcher. So between all of those mistakes, Butcher is now inherited into 5th position. Clough is going to attempt to go up the inside. They're going to be side by side as they go through the Lesmos. I think Clough will get this done. He'll have the inside. He's just going to get done. Butcher will attempt to go through the old switcheroo, but I don't think it's going to be enough, because he'll have the inside going in down to Lesmo. So I really don't think at this stage, at the front, I am still watching that board. We will get one more lap and it will come down to Anton. We are going to leave that battle and follow this for the final lap of the race. So I will keep an eye on the board. You can see Mike Bullen is kind of in the middle there. Clough is ahead of Butcher and they're still fighting. Neal and Ashbourne are fighting. But the question is, can Anton take this race victory? Can he lead from start to finish? This is going to be, there is 2 places really he needs to really think about what he's going to do. So in the back, you see there, right the lead is Anton. He's in first. Right behind that as we ride on mode now is Tijo. He has been closing the gap, lap after lap, corner after corner. It was at 2 seconds. But the question is, can he do anything? Can he take Anton? Can he get the man in front? They are in equal machinery. 2 different nationalities. They've probably got different equipment. The question is Anton going to let him pass? Is Anton going to let him go through? Is Anton going to take the victory? We don't know. We've got less than 2 minutes to find out. T-Joke is right up the rear end. You couldn't separate these two. It's so close. It's a whiff of paper between them as they come into the second set of it. T-Joke is going to attempt to go at the inside. Can he get the car stopped? Can he rotate the car enough? Anton, he gives him a tap at the rear end. He just gets it done. But Anton won't let this go. Anton has been leading the entire race. All he has to do now is stay close enough to Tijo to get the slipstream going in out of the final parabolica. He can do this. It's not over yet. We've got less than half a lap to go. We're on board now with second place man. He has currently led from start to finish except for this lap where he isn't leading. He's right on the rear end now. It's all going to start going off as we come down right to the last screen. Pick your moment, Anton. Be careful. Not yet, not yet. Through the section of the Scari. Be right on the rear end, and this is where Anton's got to pop. This is where he's got to strike. At this moment, he will have the overrun. You can see it there. He's getting closer and closer and closer. The car in front is trying to break the slipstream. But as he gets closer, he should get a beautiful run out of the parabolica. It is going to be a final run. Don't go too wide, Anton. That's it, right on the rear end. So close that you could read the number plate. He's right on the rear end, and here we go. He's going to get a lovely toe as we exit the parabolica. Now it's going to be a straight line drag to the lap, to the end of the race. The question is, who is going to take it? They're side by side. Where does he cross the line? He missed just by a hair's whisker, by less than 0.07 of a second. T-Joke takes the race victory. Sensational finish to the race. Absolutely magnetic stuff between those two. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. In third, Mike Bullen brings the car home. Clough did a sensational recovery drive to fourth. Butcher, solid fifth. Deakin, a solid sixth. Interesting to know what happened with the car there. He seemed to go from forward, front to back. Flack is in seventh. Neal is in 8th, Ashbourne is in 9th, Markham is in 10th, but Markham just didn't really like this track and he's even a bit about. Hogg returning is in 11th, Kane Alexander finished the race, he's in 12th, Dugdale is in 13th, and George finishes all the way back in 14th. And Nick Papadim did not finish the race, he had a computer crash. Your race winner was Tijo. Your fastest lap was Michael Clough, oddly enough. So your fastest lap was not your race winner. Well, there we go. What a sensational third race and a sensational finish to what has been a fantastic old school race that we have. I will be back next week, same time, same place. And I will have the drivers' interviews back up and running by next week, and hopefully I'll have some new features as well. But we will see. Still working on all the link ups. A big thank you to all of our sponsors and everybody that does follow us, and for the 146 of you that did watch us, and that's proper, all 146 different people. Thank you. Really hope you enjoyed it. This will get put up now. It'll be on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you and good night.